Real Talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
Our greatest glory is rising when we fall. So don't be discouraged, don't you be appalled. It's okay if you fall and maybe even lose your spark. Just make sure in the end you rise from the dark. It's time to rise up, time to work, and time to chase your dreams. The Lord has the final say, so your soul is redeemed. This message is to help you with your self-esteem, as faith will take you places that we have never seen.
Welcome to a Real Talk. Glad to have all of you to join us on today. We pray that you have had a wonderful day. Of course, it's been a rainy, kind of somewhat of a mess today, but we welcome you here to Real Talk. I'm Pastor Z, and we have the lovely Miss Bishop T with us, as always, as our co-host. How are you doing on tonight?
I'm doing well, Pastor Z. How are you?
Doing pretty good. You doing some research over there?
No, I was sharing to my page. I was sharing trying to share, to the page. Am I reverbing? Did you hear something when I was talking?
For a second, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. We're glad to have all of you to join us on today. We're going to do roll call in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we want to let you know the various ways that you can join us here on Real Talk. Of course, you can join us on Facebook Live. You can go to Real Talk page with Pastor Z and Bishop T, Z Andre Huff page, Bishop Tanya Latham page. You can catch us on Facebook. We're running Facebook right about now. You can catch us on YouTube. We want you to sign in to YouTube, like and subscribe. Really let people know that you appreciate what we do here on Real Talk. We also have a Twitter page, R Talk with Z and T, at R Talk with Z_T. Now, what I would like for all of you to do is to like those that are on Facebook and share. Please like and share. And of course, if you haven't liked our page, go ahead and like our page. Be friends and follow the Real Talk Show. We give current, local, and national news, and we got a lot to talk about on tonight. We're going to play some excerpts from the Tyre Nichols service. Also, we're going to talk about Tom Brady retiring from football finally. The second time he's retiring, and quite a few others. But before we get into our topics, let's go ahead and do roll call. Hello, Miss Katrina Davis. What's up, Dana J? What's happening? Hello, Miss Conteria Williams. Brother Philip Davis. Miss Mary Smitherman. Hello. Miss Charlotte Kinney. Hello to you. Hello to all of you. Y'all can come on. Y'all type in the comments and speak to us, and we'll post it on the on our screen. Hello, Miss Rosie Green. She said, "Hell, everyone." I know she meant hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Sheila Duckett. How are you? There you go. Everybody coming in. Epiphany. What's happening, sis? I tell my good friend Aaron, I said, what's up? we got you, Miss Green. We knew what you meant. Hello to all of you. Hello. We know we got Tamara's gonna come on with the tea in just a few minutes. She has some good tea she gonna spill with us on today. And I know she's gonna kind of touch on the Tyre Nichols situation. But let's do this first. Let's we want everyone to know that we try to deal with current news. There's a lot going on in our world. But before we deal with a very lengthy topic concerning the homegoing service of Tyre Nichols, let's take a look at what's happening in sports.
A year to the day after announcing his first retirement, tonight Tom Brady says his playing days are over, this time for real.
I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good.
The 45-year-old revealing his decision on social media with a little humor.
Won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year.
A 23-year NFL career that included 10 Super Bowl appearances, winning 7 of them.
Tom Brady is a Super Bowl champion again.
His decision comes after a trying year. He did lead his team to the playoffs, but it was after an up-and-down year for Tampa Bay. And there was his high-profile breakup, divorcing his wife, supermodel Gisele Bündchen. Tonight, Gisele writing, wishing you only wonderful things in this new chapter of your life. Patrick Mahomes, among the many responding tonight, simply with the emoji, signaling Brady is without a doubt the greatest of all time. Tonight, that great, saying goodbye.
Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
That was Tom Brady. A lot of people say he's considered as the GOAT in the quarterback position. He has won 7, I believe, championships, 7 Super Bowls. Played at Michigan. Have had a wonderful career. He retired and came back. He's dealt with some off the field heartbreaking issues with the divorce of his wife and mother of his children. He ended up coming back playing this year, but he was 45 years old, still playing quarterback. Actually won a Super Bowl, I guess at the age of 43. I'm thinking he won it at the age of 43. So we wish Mr. Tom Brady all the success on off the field. I heard he has a big contract coming up as a sports anchor. So he got a big contract coming up. So he'll still be busy. He'll still be busy. Any thoughts on? Are you a football fan? You know much about Tom Brady?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm one of those people that just comes in for the big games. I watch it but I'm one of those that comes in for the big games. But I do know that there's a lot of buzz around the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
of that. So, but yeah, I don't have any thoughts about it.
I had some guys that was talking to me, and they always, oh, it's more than just him on the team. But in that position, even when you start talking about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, yes, it's more people on the team, but there's always a superstar, and you can't take away. They said the same thing about Jalen Hurts. Put anybody in that position for Philadelphia Eagles, and they can win. And they discredit the ones that are actually winning. And I hate when they do that. They take away from the ability and the athletic ability of a particular person and try to downplay as if anybody could have done it because of the offensive line and the teammates that they had. So, but again, I think he'll go down as one of the greats. The hot topic for tonight, we and it has been for several weeks, has been the issue with the Memphis police and Tyre Nichols situation, the passing of Tyre Nichols. Now, let me pull back a statement I made on last week concerning that. And that's why when you don't have all the facts, you might want to wait until you gather those facts before you respond with the little facts that you may have. And I knew more would come out before we came back on to this Thursday today. I made mention about they immediately fired those guys. They immediately charged those guys. It was 3 weeks when these guys was finally arrested for what happened. And I believe they had Tyre Nichols not went to the hospital and passed away, we probably wouldn't be talking about this today. It just been another person that's been brutally beaten, that survived, that only is sharing it with other inmates. And it would have came out in the wash later on, a possibility. But I think him passing is what brought a lot of attention and forced the police officers, the chief, and all of them to take actions, as well as the DA. So that's my thoughts on it. It wasn't the next day. It took 3 weeks for this to take place. 3 weeks for this to take place. Let's see what Miss Charlotte Kenny is saying. Tom Brady has been good for the time he played. GOAT, yes, human, just as well. All are. His game went down with the separation, now divorce. Suddenly his game took a big hit, my opinion. Okay. All right. Thanks for your opinion. So let's take a look, because the service was today. And first of all, we're going to take a look at the vice president speaking at the service, and then we're going to take a look at Reverend Al Sharpton at some of the things he said in the eulogy. Let's take a look.
Good afternoon, church. Reverend Sharpton, I want to thank you for all you do for so many. There are so many families here who have been personally touched by your leadership and your strength and your fellowship. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Turner, thank you for welcoming us. Keisha Lance Bottom, Mitch Landrew. We are here on behalf of the people of our country and our President, Joe Biden. And we are here to celebrate the life of Tyre Nichols. Mrs. Wells, Mr. Wells, you have been extraordinary in terms of your strength, your courage, and your grace. And we mourn with you, and the people of our country mourn with you. And I I'm going to be very brief. Mothers around the world, when their babies are born, pray to God when they hold that child that that body and that life will be safe for the rest of his life. Yet we have a mother and a father who mourn the life of a young man who should be here today. They have a grandson who now does not have a father. His brothers and sister will lose the love of growing old with their baby brother. And when we look at this situation, this is a family that lost their son and their brother through an act of violence at the hands and the feet of people who had been charged with keeping them safe. And when I think about the courage and the strength of this family, I think it demands that we speak truth. And with this, I will say, this violent act was not in pursuit of public safety. It was not in the interest of keeping the public safe, because one must ask, was not it in the interest of keeping the public safe that Tyre Nichols would be with us here today? Was he not also entitled to the right to be safe? So when we talk about public safety, let us understand what it means in its truest form. Tyre Nichols should have been safe. So I'll just close by saying this. I was, as a senator, as a United States Senator, a co-author of the original George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And as Vice President of the United States, we demand that Congress pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Joe Biden will sign it. And we should not delay, and we will not be denied. It is non-negotiable. And with that, I'll just, Pastor, if you don't mind, one of my favorite.
So just a little bit of what Kamala Harris had to say. Bishop, your thoughts on what she had to say?
I think she's right in what she's saying, and it's a story that's too familiar, and it's happening too frequently, whether at the hands of Black officers or white officers, is at the hands of police officers.
Right.
And so, it's sad that there are those stories like Tyreek's, George Floyd's, who make national news, but there are those stories that never make it to national news, and it happens quite frequently.
Yeah.
But the real issue, I think, along with what we're seeing, is the fact that George Floyd policy is having problems being passed.
So can you share? Do you know that policy?
I'm not familiar with everything that's in it, but I know it deals with addressing the police brutality. So, but the fact remains is that it deals with those things that are happening with police brutality, and so it disturbs me that it is held up.
Does it has anything to do with the officers that are standing by and allowing
I
the
think
brutality?
I don't think it deals with any particular case of what officers do. I think it deals with things that will keep those things that need to be implemented, things that need to be taken out. So I don't think it deals with per se an officer that does the actual hitting or shooting or anything like that. And not dealing with those that are just standing around. You understand what I'm saying?
But see, I remember them saying that the law had changed after George Floyd passed, that any officer that stands and watch another officer abuse his authority will be charged with the same crime as the person that is actually conducting the crime. Now, I don't know, but I did hear that on CNN that that the law had changed after that, after the fact. And I remember seeing an incident take place where this female officer stepped in to pull another officer back from that was about to do something I consider reckless, and he got upset with her and choked her. And I'll probably pull that video up shortly, but he choked her and told her, "Don't you ever grab me again," you know. So really don't know exactly what's on in there, but I did hear that the law changed after the George Floyd.
Okay, yeah, there were laws that changed, but that actual George Floyd Act is just it deals with things to hold officers accountable.
Yeah,
To hold officers accountable, and like I said, things that would be proactive, like training or those type things like that. So I don't think I think laws did change.
yeah. I just didn't. I haven't read up on that particular act, and I heard her say that, and I was wondering what was all in it. But let's take a look at Al Sharpton as he kind of shared in the eulogy. His disappointment in first of all the death of Tyre Nichols, and is very much disappointed that the officers was supposed to be his brother instead of the ones that was beating him.
Reason why Mr. and Mrs. Wells, what happened to Tyre is so personal to me is that 5 black men that wouldn't have had a job in the police department would not ever be thought of to be in an elite squad. In the city that Dr. King lost his life, not far away from that balcony, you beat a brother to death. There's nothing more insulting and offensive to those of us that fight to open doors, that you walk through those doors and act like the folks we had to fight for to get you through them doors. You didn't get on the police department by yourself. Police chief didn't get there by herself. People had to march and go to jail, and some lost their lives to open the doors for you. And how dare you act like that sacrifice was enough for nothing? You ain't in no New England state, you in Tennessee, where we had to fight for you. And you take that position?
Did you get a chance to watch the service yourself?
Yeah, I watched certain. I was in and out on it. But I did see some parts of it. I mean, he's right. You can't
Yeah.
argue. You can't argue that fact. But I do, regardless. I agree with Al Sharpton. But now I have to also read that one of those policemen, that there's some stuff that's going to come out with regards to that he had history with one of those police officers.
I heard that, and the father said that wasn't true. Now I actually seen I've seen something on YouTube where a guy was saying that one of those officers and Tyre officer's wife or ex-wife and Tyre had some things going on, and that kind of was one of the motives behind what went on. But then the I think his stepdad has denied that any of that is true. So I don't know. You know, it's sad. People will try to make sense out of nonsense. And I don't know if it's true. I'm like you. I heard it too, and will we ever know if it's true or not? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what we do know is that it was excessive. We do know that. And we do know it didn't get excessive after a minute. They approached him on 1,000. Which
But
leads me, go ahead.
go ahead.
Which leads me to believe that they were already amped. There was, there was whatever was going on before. And even they knew they were wrong. They knew they were wrong for beginning. We can sit up and say it was because of this or because of that, or whoever came up with that. But they were excessive from the jump.
Right.
Were there I heard one commentator say it was like I can't remember if he was a former police captain or what, but he said from jump they were wrong. Yeah. And even today, when you look at it, I can't remember which news outlet it was, NBC or I can't remember, but they came out with the original police report contradicted
what actually happened.
What actually happened. So,
and if it wasn't for that pole camera, because the body cam the guy kind of turned away from what was taking place.
There's so many body cam. There were so many body cam views or whatever. But even if you listen to the body cam, if you're listening to what they're saying and seeing what they are doing, they were trying to, because they knew they had the body cams on, they were talking so in a way that it would lead you to believe that what they were saying was what was going on.
Right.
So they would, I guess you could say they were trying to rewrite the in real time.
Right.
By because they knew those body cams could be called back into question. So we're going to say one thing is going on, but in reality, something else is going on. At the end of the day, there is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Let me ask you a question. You and I talking. Okay, we tell people comply with the law. Comply with it. If you pull it over, act with respect. Give the officer respect, and we tell them the officers will respect you. I don't know what it was that made him take out running. I did see when they pulled him over, they was trying to get him put his hand behind his back. He kept saying, "For what? For what? For what?" All of a sudden, he take out running. They shoot the taser. And there was a Caucasian, a white person, a white cop who shot the taser. And then they went to running after him. And he's running up the street. Now, according to his mother, I think she said he was about 8 minutes away from home.
It was just probably not even 8 minutes. I think they said yards or something.
Okay, all right. So he's running, and I saw where the white officer and another cop that got pepper sprayed by another cop is standing there at their car trying to help him get his eyes right or whatever. They're out of breath. They're bent over, and you hear the white police officer say, I hope they stomp his, ASS,
But now, when you even listen to what the commentators are saying, they have not even found footage to suggest that he was driving recklessly.
Right.
And when they approached him, they didn't approach him from the time that they chased him, even in the car that he stopped. It was wrong.
Right.
If it's a traffic stop, you stop and you approach. They approached on 1,000,
right.
Which leads me to believe, as much as it leads me to believe that there had to be something prior. I would like to know.
Did he take him on a chase in the car?
Not that I have heard, but they were saying that he was driving recklessly.
Right.
I would like to know which police officer originally approached him.
But what I was asking you, what do you do when you tell them to comply? They comply. These things like this happen. If they don't comply, things like this happen. A lot of time, I think in the mind of people, I'm just going to take my chance and see if I can outrun them.
Well,
I don't know. When your life is in danger, you trying to do what you got to do to survive. I don't know. Stand there, you're gonna get beat. Run it. I mean, which one?
Now, I will say this. This is something that I began to pray with my family, regardless whether we are young, old, with my family. Lord, give us the grace to travel and the mercy to arrive safely. Part of that is because, and I'm not just saying on the highway, I'm saying getting in my car, going over to my mom's house, leaving my mom's house, going to the store, leaving the store, going here, there. And we are in the midst of a generation. If you look at some of these recordings, they are hot-headed. They are just being asked their name, or they are just being asked. And it's just like, I want to say, be quiet, make it home. At the end of the day, the innocent doing everything right, you're subject not to make it home. Because here's the thing, it's still it's within the power of that police officer to react, just like not many months ago when the police officer, the female, thought she had her taser and had her gun, and he was doing everything right. At the end of the day, there has to be a prayer to move about out here. And I know we're talking about police brutality, but even if we talk about the climate that we live in, your grandmama goes to the grocery store and she doesn't make it home. 60-something, 70-something-year-old people gunned down in a grocery store. And it's happening from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's taking place. Hatred. And I think that the only thing that we can say is that it's signs of the time. We're living in a climate that, hatred is at people just, you look at the people, the Asians who were celebrating the New Year. They're what they call their New Year. And another agent kills what 11 people, 11, I think got up to 11 people. You know, you not somebody went on the subway. I was it in New York just yesterday. Went on the subway, wherever it was, and just start shooting people. And those people ambushed him at one time and brought him down. We can do everything right. Our children, not even just our children. There are bad police officers who are beating the devil out of the young and the old. Blacks and black and brown people. And there are occasionally those who are doing it to Caucasians. But most of the time you've seen them, they'll run around, they'll chase a Caucasian 2 miles and won't shoot him in the back. But there are those who do. I don't know. What I would say is that, we got to pray to go and pray to come back.
Yeah.
And teach our children. And see, I think that's the thing. We're teaching our children, because I'll be honest with you, I'm nervous now if I'm stopped by the police. I'm not as nervous now as I was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But I used to didn't worry about the police getting behind me or the police riding beside me because I wasn't doing anything. But when you have experiences in life and you see things that happen, it brings about a fear. And when you're scared and the person that's standing outside your car is scared, anything is subject to happen. Exactly. And I think that goes back to the George Floyd Act, those policies, that these officers are trained, that these officers are not allowed to be disciplined in one area and transfer to another area and become a police officer, or be fired for police brutality over here and then be hired over here.
Yeah.
So
but there was some disciplinary actions in their past.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So really, when you think about it, this is who they were. Did you think they were really concerned that he was black? And I hear what Al Sharpton is saying, but that goes back to the integrity of the person, the heart of the person. They already had a history of police brutality. Yeah. They had already been written up. That's who they were. And I think that goes back to saying we want police reform, and that's not saying I'm not against what do they say? Blue Lives Matter. I'm not against policemen. But I definitely want my nephews to be safe. I want to be safe. I want other black and brown people to be safe. And so there has to be something to hold the policemen accountable, like these who don't have a good heart, like I can't call his name right now, that put his knee on George Floyd's neck. That's why we need reform, police reform, not because of good cops.
Well, they have to suffer because of the bad.
Because of bad cops, but it holds all of them accountable.
Yeah, but and see what happens is, just like even on a football team, basketball team, whatever, when you in something together, the bad ones actually give the good ones a bad name. I mean, you start looking at all of them as if, you're rotten, you're no good, and so, that's what we're dealing with. I don't know. I see what Tara Townsend said. The officer was angry because Tyre was dating the cop ex-girlfriend. I heard that, but I don't know if that's factual. You hear a lot of things when things like this happen. But yeah.
Well, I can tell you this much. I bet you I would go to say that they did it.
Oh,
I hope they hate they did it.
They
Because their
done.
careers are over. And
Their
here
lives are over.
I think in as much as we're talking about the police brutality, somebody mentioned, it was mentioned last week, or somebody said something about this is the blueprint or something.
Yeah.
This is the blueprint. No, nothing happened because he didn't die. They probably would eventually been disciplined in some type of way, but it escalated when he died. It was already out there, but it escalated when he died.
Right.
So here is the thing. This is the blueprint. This is what we should see. What happens when police brutality takes place, regardless, race, creed, or color, whatever. When it happens, move swiftly.
Yeah.
Move swiftly to handle it and not make excuses. We got to get all the facts. And believe me, this is going to be the blueprint. It's going to be the blueprint. It's going to be the example.
It's an example, but I don't know if it's going to always be the example for every incident that takes place, unless you call Ben Crump in. And see, it takes people, high profile people that defends civil rights and African Americans in order to get this type of. What about those that can't get that type of attention? You know, that's going to be brushed on. I still believe it's going to be brushed under the rug and handled differently, unless they can get exposed about what is actually happening. So our prayers goes out to the Nichols family. We're gonna step away, and then we're gonna bring Tamara on with some tea, and we're gonna finish up with our closing topics. We'll be right back. Suit Up, Volume 1, written by Z. Andre Huff. Enjoy 100 devotional messages designed to impact, empower, and encourage you. Suit Up lists each devotional title in the table of contents. These short, convenient devotionals will jumpstart your day. Order Suit Up, Volume 1 by Z. Andre Huff today. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Westbow Press. You will be glad you did.
DJ Shona. For all your musical entertainment, book DJ Shona at Everett_Huff at cloud.com. 256-393-9843.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Hey, nothing much. How y'all doing?
We're doing pretty good. How about
Good.
yourself?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, we're glad to have you with us again.
Yeah.
To bring us some tea.
Okay.
And so we're gonna let you go ahead and spill it.
Okay. Well, y'all pretty much talked about the Nichols. So I definitely don't want to keep going back and forth with that, because that's just, I don't know. It's a sad time. Sad time when, whenever this happens, and definitely kind of hit a little bit harder when it's your own. So, all right. So I heard you talk about Tom Brady. He's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think he is one of the greatest of all time. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
I let you. Everybody has their opinion.
Okay, so
Tomato, tomato.
tomato.
Mhm.
So Super Bowl
Potato.
potato.
She said potato.
Potato. Okay. All right. So Super Bowl coming up. I'm excited for Jalen Hurts. I'm very excited. We got 2 black quarterbacks playing for the Super Bowl this year.
First time in history.
First time in history. Yeah, that's big.
What was the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl?
Doug Williams.
Okay, all right. Where did he play college football at?
Grambling.
Okay, all right. Just testing you.
Yeah, hey.
Just testing you.
Hey, see. I kind of know. I know a little something.
Who did he win with?
Redskins. Right?
You're right. Washington Redskins.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay, so you ain't gonna take away my card, is you?
No, I ain't gonna take away. Now, Jalen Hurts. Let me tell you what's going on now with Jalen Hurts. Alabama want to stamp their brand on Jalen Hurts. It's been going back and forth on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard podcasts saying that y'all don't get a chance to claim Jalen Hurts. He went there for 3 years. He transferred and ended up going to Oklahoma. Y'all benched him. Now, let me tell you when I fell in love with this young man. The way he handled that situation in the national championship game. When they took him out in the second half and put Tua in.
Mm-hmm.
He stood on that sideline cheering the team on, high-fiving Tua when he knew the world was watching. They end up winning the national championship, and he's running around with the rest of them, but all alone on the inside, he know that the world was watching and he was broken.
Yeah.
It was said that when he got home and got to his mother, he laid in her arms and cried and said, "What we gonna do now, Mom?" She said, "We're gonna keep fighting." He came back the next year. Now the second half of a game, Tua wins. Now he's 20-something as a starting quarterback. The next year, they make Tua the starting quarterback and put him on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in the SEC championship game, just like Tua did. In the second half, they start him, and he wins the game for Alabama in the SEC championship. Jalen Hurts came in for Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Then he turned around and get in the national championship. Tua stunk up the game, and they wait till the fourth quarter to put. I don't even know if they even put him in, but I remember they put him in late, and it was over with by then. But the young man has a lot of character.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any quit in him. He went to Oklahoma, and he always referenced Nick Saban and Alabama as a place that is in his heart. That's a lesson to be learned by a lot of our athletes, and parents need to learn this, that it's the coach's job when you're not getting the job done to put someone else in there to give them an opportunity to get the job done. Number one. Number two, just because you've been pulled out and benched don't mean you quit.
Right.
One thing Daddy would never let us do is quit. My son played basketball. He didn't play the minutes that I thought he should have played. He didn't play the minutes he thought he should have played. But one thing he never thought about doing was quitting, because you don't teach that.
Right.
It's a competitive sport. There's always somebody that can probably do something that you cannot. And if you're not doing it, then it's up to the coach to make that difficult move. But a lot of times I believe parents encourage these children to give up, to quit, to go somewhere else because they got to compete for a position. And, you know, my daddy said, if you start quitting now, he told me this as a young age, if you start quitting now, you'll be quitting for the rest of your life. Well, I'm not going to allow you to quit. You just got to work on your craft and compete until you, and I'm going to tell you, I sat the bench. I got cut in the 7th grade in basketball. I made the team in the 8th grade. I never played much on the court. I made the team in the 9th grade. I didn't play that much. I made the team in the 10th grade. I started as a 10th grader. As an 11th grader, I didn't play that much. As a 12th grader, mid-season was when I started. Now, I was a senior. My brother Sean was a sophomore. Sean was starting off, and I'm a senior. It was mid-season before I started off. Mid-season, I'm talking about December was when I went in against Emma Sampson off the bench, scored 15 quick points. The coach pulled me out. Now we winning, we up by a good number. The coach pulled me out and put me on the bench. I'm like, man, I already don't play that much. Why are you pulling me out now? And put my brother back in. Didn't understand what he was doing, but that was that very night that he actually put me on the starting team. And the guy that had been starting in front of me for 2 years quit the team because he put him on the bench. So it's a lot to be learned. And Jalen Hurts is just a classic guy. I said that you know, I'm not an Alabama fan, but I said roll tide for Jalen Hurts just because I like the way he handled that tough situation. He's a classic guy, and I've been rooting for him ever since he's been in the NFL, and he's going to turn out to me to be the best quarterback that ever came out of Alabama.
You think?
I want him to be. I want him to do that. I want him to prove that the doubt is wrong. There's a clip I got on my page right now. And those get a chance, go on there and look. There's a commentators who was saying all these negative things about Jalen Hurts. One gonna be this. He ain't gonna be that. He can't throw the ball. Saying all of this stuff. Now this man is finna play for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So go Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
I like Patrick Mahomes too, and I like Andy Reid, but they don't won one. I just want Jalen to come out on top this time.
Yeah. Me too. But the Eagles, they're going to the Super Bowl, but they got a player that was arrested for rape and kidnapping. His name is Josh Seals. Y'all hear?
I heard about it. Was he a starter?
I don't know if he was a starter. He's an offensive lineman.
Well, he won't make the Super Bowl.
No, he won't.
He won't get a T-shirt and a hat.
So sad.
He done.
He was a rookie reserve lineman for the Eagles.
Oh well, he a rookie reserve.
Yeah, and he made the team.
He just on the practice team.
Yeah. Yeah, he made the team as an undrafted free agent, but he engaged in some sexual activity and held the victim against her will.
Yeah.
So he's 25 years old, and he's scheduled to appear in court February the 16th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, said that he played. He attended both West Virginia and Oklahoma State in college. So. But hats off to the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. Yeah. So the next news that I have for T, since we're on the talking sports, Alicia Boykins.
Alicia Boykins. Let's take a look at a video. But you go ahead and share what you need to share, and then we're going to show the video. Go ahead.
Okay. So Alicia Boykins is the junior varsity coach and varsity
assistant,
right. at Virginia High School, where
No, it's not Virginia. It's like a cruciform, man. It's a Christian school or something, wasn't it?
for the in Virginia.
Okay.
Okay, so she actually she's 22 years old, high school basketball coach. As a 13-year-old player for the junior varsity team. Junior varsity.
Did you hear about that, Tanya? The coach dressed out and played with the JV. And I want you to see this. Y'all, let's take a look at this.
Players might wish they had more playing time, but what about a coach putting themselves in a game? The school system in Portsmouth says it happened on the Churchland High School JV girls team. This is video of the game from January 21st when Churchland played at Nansemond River High in Suffolk, and the school system says assistant coach Arlisha Boykins played in the game.
Disappointment, Brendan. Coaches are teachers.
Billy Hahn is the executive director of the Virginia High School Sports League. He says the VHSL was notified about the incident. Churchland wound up forfeiting the game.
When an adult commits to being a high school coach, it's not just about coaching the game. They take on a lot of responsibility. Adults who fail to live up to those expectations, I'll just put it bluntly, they fail students.
After the incident was reported to Churchland school leaders, the administration met with players and their parents. Players for both the JV and varsity girls teams at Churchland decided to cancel the rest of their seasons. The school system says Boykins and the head coach of the JV are no longer employees of the school division.
We failed kids because we got a group of young ladies who now will not be able to finish their season because of the behavior of some adults.
Hahn says this is the second time he's heard of something like this happening in Virginia. News 3 made multiple attempts to speak with Boykins, but did not hear back, as now the season is over.
It's a whole lot of crazy in it.
Boy, did you see her taunting, laying it up, saying, bam? I'm like, you 23 years old while here with these little kids on the JV.
What would it? Well, what were the players thinking?
The players that played with her, they probably needed her.
But here's the thing.
They were riding with it as well. So
why did they cancel the season? That's what
I think they should have.
Yeah, they should have.
I mean, everybody is involved. They fired the coaches.
Yeah.
You got
the head coach was involved in it.
I mean, this is a assistant coach. So everybody at the game, everybody out there knew she was a coach. She had no.
Everybody knew.
I mean,
all the kids knew. So yeah, you don't think they supposed to be punished?
That's crazy.
Look at Piffany talking about. I thought it was cute.
It was cute.
Hey, she went in there one day, been practicing probably against the kids, and could probably pass for a senior.
I mean,
that raised eyebrows by itself. A senior don't play JV.
The referees didn't know that she had been. They must have didn't know who she was.
They probably didn't.
They didn't know.
They probably didn't.
But that was just crazy, though.
But I wonder how many games did she play before they caught it? Because the administration that attended the games had to see
That's
it.
what I say. That's a whole lot of crazy in there.
Yeah.
That just tripped me out because it, she was driving the lane and lay up and free throws. Like,
she was school. I mean, she thought she was doing something against them little kids.
Crazy. But I just thought that was interesting. Not me, the kids. I think it was immature and ridiculous. That's right. It was. Okay, so we're still on sports. So, last week or was it last week? One day, one session that we had, but I talked about the big issue being auctioned off. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we have LeBron James auctioning off the first ever number 6 Lakers jersey. Now that's the GOAT of all time.
What?
Yeah, LeBron James.
Is that the news that you bringing about LeBron?
Yes, I thought it was.
What you should be talking about when it comes to LeBron is that he's about 89 points from being the all-time scorer, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, right, yeah. You ain't even let me.
Everybody studying that jersey, and he's not the GOAT. He looked like a GOAT, but he's not the GOAT.
You didn't even let me finish. But he is.
Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT.
What you say, Bishop T?
I love Stephen Curry.
Oh my God. He ain't never been in a conversation when they talk about the GOAT.
You don't sit with people.
She just crush on him. That's her man crush.
That's your
It's the eyes.
It's the well, I like
his attitude.
Well, him throwing his mouthpiece getting thrown out the game. What's wrong with that? What's that? That ain't an attitude. That's a bad attitude. You know he got ejected the other day because he threw his mouthpiece.
Well, I feel that.
Let's take that away.
So let me say this. So we'll see if he recovers. Maybe he has the resilience of what's the guy we were just talking about? Jalen. You know, that's one mistake. You can't quit and beat him up for one mistake.
He have a history of it.
Does he?
Yeah.
I think a lot of them pout.
Oh yeah, they do. There's a bunch of crybabies now.
They used to have it their way.
So talk about this little funky jersey.
Yeah.
Who he gonna auction it off?
Yeah, you can bid on it. It's the first ever number 6 Lakers jersey. Yeah. So let's see. It says that the auction ends on February 4th. So y'all go bid on it.
That's in 2 days.
First ever 6 LeBron.
You know that's in 2 days, right?
Yeah. So they got 2 days to go. Bishop T, you sleepy?
Yeah, that's boring. You talking about LeBron? I'm yawning over him. Next.
Well, that's really all the tea that I have.
That's all you got. Well, how about here's someone that Alabama can claim, DeMeco Ryans.
DeMeco Ryans.
He was the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. He's now the new head coach for the Houston Texans.
Okay.
So DeMeco Ryans, shout out. He played defense. I think it was defensive end for Alabama some years back.
That's good.
He played in the league. I think he played for Philadelphia too when he played.
That's good news. That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I want to send a birthday shout out. She watched us every week.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Bishop T, do we do shout outs on him?
She is a
wait a minute. Bishop T, do we do shout outs on him? Okay, carry on.
Honey,
carry on.
Come on, it's a part of your tea.
Carry on, Tamara.
Okay, she's a faithful viewer. She watched every week. Her name is Rosie Green. Happy birthday.
She the one that misspelled hello from minutes ago. Happy birthday, Miss Rosie Green. May you have me in the mo.
Yes, she real shy too. Like she's super quiet. She's shy.
Now you done started something. You know that, right? You started something, right?
She probably just laughing her head off. What I started?
We got to give shout outs for now.
Oh, sorry, but yeah. And everybody else whose birthday, them as well.
Well, we'll let you handle that. Just that way. Everybody who got birthdays today have birthday because you did that last week. If you celebrate a birthday, you know who you're celebrating with?
Right.
Anita Baker.
No, Epiphany said, "What about Anita Baker?" I didn't know it was her birthday.
Kurt Franklin. You celebrate you special. You celebrate a birthday with Kurt Franklin.
I sure did. I did. It was a few.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So. Oh, y'all watch. It's Black History Month, so there will be a lot of good movies on Netflix and Hulu. One was like it's called 1869, I think. That's on Hulu. I just saw the like previews. I haven't watched it myself, but it'll seem like it's gonna be a good, movie.
Have you seen You People? Have y'all seen You People?
I went to sleep on it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It's very funny.
I have to go back and watch it, but
it's funny.
Yeah, I thought
Laura London, Eddie Murphy.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
Y'all need to go see. Y'all need to look on Netflix. Self-Made.
Self-Made.
That's the Madam C.J. Walker story.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was real good.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was high school signing day.
It was.
So I have to give a shout out to my nephews. We got one going to Eastern Kentucky and one going to University of Virginia at Wise. So they're twins and they're separating.
Oh.
And so we are excited for their college careers with football, and they've done well. They knew they have to do well with academics as well as sports, and so we are excited about that. And then I want to say that I'm excited also about the kids from Gaston City, who I know I'm gonna miss some of them, but they had one going to,
Don't start calling names.
No, I'm just saying where they're gonna go. They had one going to Georgia Tech. I think it was Arkansas, Jacksonville. So yeah, to all those, and then
congratulations.
Coach Woods, his son signed with Miles. That's my I'm an alumni of Miles. So congratulations to all of the young people who signed on yesterday. Kudos to you all.
All right. Yeah, Calhoun County had some to sign going to big schools. So yeah, hats off to those guys. So
well, I feel like, some of them will do D1 schools, D2 schools, but it's just, to me, to get those scholarships and be where your parents don't have to pay and you're able to get an education.
Right.
Yeah, take advantage.
Take
advantage of that.
That's right.
Yes.
Take advantage of that. A free education. Take advantage of it.
Exactly.
I know sports is great, but your career in sports don't last. Everybody is not a Tom Brady that will last till they're 45 years old throwing a football.
Right. That's right.
Most average football player lasts, I think, 4 to 5 years in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to reach 4 years in order to be able to retire. At least play 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But then we found out with the injury of the young man with Buffalo, all the stuff that they go through, even with that.
Right.
Insurance and who want to insure them when they have had all those injuries, and it's just a lot, man, that you don't know that the people go through. All we see is the glamour.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, Monday night football,
Yep, it's a lot that goes with it.
But Mama always said, get some up here.
That's right.
Because you have something to fall back on.
That's right. When that ball stop bouncing, what you gonna do? So, yeah.
What you gonna do?
When the ball stop bouncing.
Yeah.
What you
I'm gonna do? What you gonna do?
Stop bouncing.
She'll have made up a song.
When the ball stop bouncing.
Oh, that's a song.
What? That's what song? That's a song?
Yeah, she just
What
made
you gonna do when the ball start bouncing?
Bishop, you wanted to talk about this governor down there in Florida.
We
Let's
don't
talk
even have
about him.
time to go into that.
We don't?
We don't have time. We don't have time to treat it. You know how you say when you're a preacher, I ain't got time to treat it. But we'll hit it and get off of it.
Hit it.
Governor Ron DeSantis. I think DeSantis make sure is against and has put into action rejected African American Studies as an AP class in high school, where those children take AP classes for college credit. So he has gotten backlash from it. Let me see. I did take some notes because I want to make sure I got this right. Becky Pringle, who's the president of the National Education Association, and the largest labor union. So labor unions are chiming in. This Becky Pringle said that they have stepped up, and Governor J.B. Pritzker, he's a Democrat, who made this statement: one governor should not have the power to dictate the facts of U.S. history. So he is receiving backlash. But if you know anything about the governor of Florida, he's been doing things all along, and we kind of know what that's leading to and why he's doing that. But Ben Crump announced, I think it was today or yesterday, it may have been today, that 3 Florida students are prepared to challenge the state's decision in court. This is that's why I said we really don't have time to treat it.
Now, here's the thing, that he's okay with history being taught, but he wants to dictate what part of history is being taught.
Let me say what he has done. He can't be okay with history being taught if you want to remove African American studies.
Right.
That's
what I'm saying. Of course, but that's what I meant when I said he want to control what history that's going to be taught. The history that is factual, he don't want that out there. He want the history that they come up with.
He wants
that we learned when we was coming in.
Yeah.
Coming up, you know.
When I think about it, I think he wants the history of African Americans removed. Because if you, first of all, you came against the critical race theory.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to go deeper and say remove African American studies. Mm-hmm. What is African American studies? That takes a look at the history. It's the study of the history of African Americans, either here in America or descendants from Africa.
But when you look at
a multidisciplinary standpoint to an interdisciplinary standpoint. So what that says to me is where are we?
Okay, so that's why I was saying, because when you look at the U.S. history that we know, they're going to deal with slave trade. They're going to deal with the North versus the South and all that. You're going to see a little bit of us in there when it concerns slavery, but you're not going to deal with what actually took place. You follow what I'm saying? That's why I say he wants to control what part of history or somewhat of what they want us to believe history was. You know, keep it that way, in other words, you know.
Yeah. And I think that's regardless. I said this, and I won't call in the names. So how can I say this without
Call
calling?
their name. Call them.
No. I'm not gonna call in the names. I read a person's bio,
Okay.
and when I read the person's bio, I was somewhat disturbed at what I saw. And so by me being disturbed at what I saw, because I knew that the bio should say something else, but there was a portion of the bio that was completely left out. And if it wasn't left out, a portion of it was left out and the other part was tweaked, I guess you could say. But I was there. And I made this statement. I don't care what you do. You cannot erase history.
Okay.
Right.
You can't erase it.
Okay.
And I'll leave it this way. And
Leave it this way.
still
And
we
still.
rise.
And still we
Still
rise.
right.
Come on
Still
now.
we rise.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
When you think, and I just said from a joking standpoint, when you think about in slavery, how we were given nothing, but able to make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When we
Mm-hmm.
sit up, we can take the chitlins. We call them chitlins.
Chitlins.
You know, throw that slop out.
Mm-hmm.
But out of the conditions that we lived, we took those chitlins and added some season to them, and now you can't buy them. You see what I'm saying? Still we rise.
Used to be free.
That, and I wished I had that poem, and I guess it's because it is Black History Month. Maybe I'll read that poem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Put on your
but
outfit.
we have we
when you
and
read it.
you so
Wrap
here's
your
the
head
thing.
up.
It becomes our responsibility when you say we can't
My
or you
sister.
won't allow us.
So
Then we have to take responsibility to educate our people.
amen.
That's right.
More than just.
That's right. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I learned a lot.
This February.
Yeah, listening to my mom, my uncles, and my grandparents, my great grandparents. That's where I learned a lot of history. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Well, all right.
I
Well,
just think
listen.
that is sad. I think that is very sad.
Yeah, he's doing the most. I see him they show him on CNN almost every morning.
Yeah.
Well, he has a goal. I think he's working his way to the White House.
He is.
Yeah, and he knows where he needs to land that support to do it.
Right.
So
start off with removing Black history from the AP classes.
Well, all right, ladies and gents, it's been fun as always, and encouraging as well as informing. We thank you all for joining us here every Thursday. We'll be here on next Thursday. Tom, I want you to put Alex Baldwin in your tea on next week.
Okay.
Let's talk about that involuntary murder that he's been charged with on the movie set.
On the movie set, okay.
So are they getting ready to bring that to trial?
He's been charged with it.
Yeah, he's been charged.
Yeah.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies.
Now look, she done typed all that.
Like dust, I rise.
That's right.
Yeah.
Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got whales pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of the tides. Just like hope spinning high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops. I don't know what the rest of it is. Still, I rise. I rise. Oh, yeah. I rise.
That's right.
Y'all have a good night.
All right.